Hello everyone, this is Prashant. In this video we will discuss on the topic the time response of undamped second order system when unit step input is applied. Okay, in the previous video we discussed on the topic time response of second order system, time response specifications of second order system. There we have seen the definitions of rise time, peak time, delay time and maximum motion. Okay, so here we will find the response of the system, the output of the system when unit step input is applied. Okay, so we know that the basic transfer function or the standard transfer function for second order system is given by omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n into s plus omega n square. Okay, where omega n square is the undamped natural frequency and zeta is the damping factor. Okay, based on the damping factor we have undamped system, underdamped system, overdamped system and critically damped system. Okay, here the response of the system for undamped system. Okay, for undamped system means the zeta value is equals to 0. Okay, when zeta equals to 0, we need to find the value of C of t for unit step input. Okay, in the previous classes we have defined the unit step input u of t. U of t equals to 1 when it is greater than 0, t is greater than 0. Okay, so u of t equals to 1 when t is greater than 0. Once you take the Laplace transform of this signal, it will be 1 by s. So means r of t, this is r of t, r of s equals to Laplace transform of unit step signal is 1 by s. So when this signal is applied to the basic transfer function, okay, we will find the response of the system. So for zeta equals to 0, substitute zeta equals to 0 in the above equation. So what we get? C of s divided by r of s equals to it's omega n square divided by s square plus this term will be 0, zeta equals to 0, we will get s square plus omega n square. Okay, so for unit step input r of s equals to 1 by s. I will cross multiply r of s to this equation. Okay, hence the equation reduces to, I will write this side. So C of s equals to is 1 by s into omega n square divided by s square plus omega n square. Okay, so once you get the value of C of s, by taking inverse Laplace transform for this equation, we can convert s domain signals into a time domain signals. So look at the equation number, let us call it as equation number 1. It is difficult to take the inverse Laplace transform for this equation. So hence I will reduce this equation by making use of partial fraction. Okay, so let us resolve this equation by using partial fraction method. Okay, I will simplify this equation as omega n square divided by s into s square plus omega n square. Okay, there are two terms in the denominator, so you can clearly observe here s is the one term and second term is s square plus omega n square. So I will split this term as a by s and second one is the complex. I will take it as bs plus c divided by s square plus omega n square. Okay, so now we can find the value of a and b by using partial fraction method. So I will simplify this equation as c of s equals to it's omega n square divided by s into s square plus omega n square equals to, so cross multiply here, so it's a into s square plus omega n square plus bs plus c into s. Okay, divided by, so s into s square plus omega n square. Okay, so look at both the LHS and RHS. This term is common, hence this it will be get cancelled. Okay, the remaining term here is that C of s equals to it's omega n square equals to a into, I will simplify this term, a into s square plus a omega n square plus b s square plus c into s. Okay, so it is omega n square equals to a into s square plus a omega n square plus b s square plus c s. To find the values of a, b, separate the coefficient of s square and the constant term. Okay, we will simplify this equation as omega n square equals to, separate the coefficients of s square and s term. We have a s square and b s square. S square is common in both the terms. I will take s square outside. The remaining term is a plus b. Plus I have constant a omega n square plus c into s. Okay, so now by comparing the coefficients of LHS and RHS, we can find the value of A and B. Okay, just call this equation as equation number 2. Okay, now compare the coefficient of omega n square in LHS and RHS. So omega n square coefficient is 1. So hence the value of A is 1. So A equals to 1. You got A equals to 1. Okay, next compare the coefficient of S square in both the sides. There is no S square in the LHS side. So let A plus B equals to 0. Okay, the next term is A plus B equals to 0. We know the value of A as 1. So B equals to minus 1. Okay, so next compare the coefficient of S in both the sides, RHS as well as LHS. So there is no term in the LHS side, C. So C will be 0. C equals to 0. So we got the values of A, B and C. Let us substitute all these values in the equation number 1. Okay. So what we have in that equation? It is C of S equals to it's omega n square divided by S into S square plus omega n square equals to, it's A by S. A is 1. It's 1 by S. So plus B S plus C. So B is minus 1 and C is 0. So it will be minus S divided by S square plus omega n square. Okay, we got the value of output C of S in S domain. Okay, C of S equals to, it is 1 by S minus S divided by S square plus omega n square. So now it is easy to get the value of response C of t in time domain by making use of inverse Laplace transform. So let us apply inverse Laplace transform to this equation. So apply inverse Laplace transform. Okay, so we'll write this side. So after applying inverse Laplace transform, C of S will be converted to C of t. Inverse Laplace of, it's 1 by S minus S divided by S square plus omega n square. Okay. So inverse Laplace transform of C of S is C of t, and inverse Laplace transform to each term. Inverse Laplace transform of 1 by S is, it's 1 minus inverse Laplace transform of S divided by S square plus omega n square. We know that inverse Laplace transform of S divided by S square plus A square is cos A t. Okay, so use this condition. So it will be cos of omega n into t. Okay, so finally we got the response C of t as 1 minus cos of omega n into t for, remember, for t greater than 0. Okay, so because we have taken step input, the step input is always there when t is greater than 0. Okay, so this is a complete time domain response of second order system for undamped system. Okay, so if we sketch the response of this system, it will be cos of omega n into t. So it will be like this, cos omega t. The response will be like this, C of t. Okay. Okay. So this is the complete time domain response of the system for undamped system when zeta equals to 0. So similarly, we can find the response of the second order system for overdamped and underdamped system. Okay, we will write those equations. Okay, let us find the response of second order system when the system is underdamped, critically damped, and overdamped system. Okay, so we got the response of undamped system, that is C of t equals to 1 minus cos of omega n into t. So when step input is applied. So similar way we can find the response of second order system for underdamped system, critically damped system, and overdamped system. Okay, so for undamped system we have taken zeta equals to 0, the basic transfer function. We know the basic transfer function of the second order system is omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n into s plus omega n square. For undamped system, we made zeta equals to 0. We got the response as c of t equals to 1 minus cos of omega n into t. Okay, so in the similar way, we can find the response of the second order system for underdamped system. Okay, so for underdamped system, the value of zeta lies between 0 to 1. The value of zeta is 0 to 1. Okay, if we substitute the value of zeta from 0 to 1, any value, say 0.1, 0.2 up to 1, the response of the system after deriving, the response will be c of t equals to, it is 1 minus e raised to minus zeta omega into t divided by square root of 1 minus zeta square into sine of omega d t plus phi. Okay, this is the complete response of the second order system for underdamped system when step input is applied, when unit step input is applied. Okay, so here you can see omega n is the undamped natural frequency and omega d is the damped natural frequency, and omega d is given by omega d equals to omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square. Remember this. Okay, omega d equals to omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square, and the angle phi is phi equals to tan inverse of square root of 1 minus zeta square divided by zeta. Okay, so omega d is the damped natural frequency, is given by omega n into square root of 1 minus zeta square, and phi is the tan inverse of square root of 1 minus zeta square divided by zeta. Okay, most of the control systems are designed with a damping factor 0 to 1. So for this damping factor, the response of the system will be oscillatory. The response of the system will be like this. Okay, so hence you can find the time domain specifications for underdamped system only. Okay, time domain specifications for underdamped system. Okay, similar way we can find the time response for critically damped system. Okay, so for zeta equals to 1, it is called as a critically damped system. When unit step is applied for this system, so make zeta equals to 1 and derive the time domain specifications, response of the system, and the response of the system will be c of t equals to, it will be 1 minus e raised to minus omega n into t into bracket 1 minus omega n into t. So as the value of damping factor is 1, substitute j equals to 1 and apply r of s equals to 1 by s. Then find the response of the system. So as we have did in the undamped system. Okay, this is the response. If we sketch the response of the system, the response will be like this. Okay, so c of t is taken around y-axis and time is around x-axis. Okay, initially it increases and reaches to final value. Okay, we won't get any time domain specifications in case of critically damped system because it is not an oscillatory response. Just it is an exponentially increasing curve. Okay, so next one, for overdamped system, we know that the value of damping factor is greater than 1. Okay, so for this damping factor, if we derive the response of the system will be c of t equals to, it is 1 minus omega n divided by 2 into zeta square root of zeta square minus 1 into bracket e raised to minus s1 t divided by s1 minus e raised to minus s2 t divided by s2. So where s1 and s2 are given by s1 equals to zeta omega n minus omega n into square root of zeta square minus 1 and s2 equals to zeta omega n plus omega n into square root of omega square minus 1. So by using this concept, we can derive the response of any damped system. Okay.